Welcome, Old Gun Guy here. Welcome to my video today. It'll be on a subcompact or micro-compact 9mm pistol. I've had the gun, probably 17, 18 years. I bought it when it first came out. I decided to do a video on this pistol for the simple reason I'm doing part 2 of a little ammo test I'm going to do for my friend. He has a Shield, a subcompact, micro-compact 9mm. And I'm going to try several types of ammo out. When I do that test, it's going to be just a chronograph and terminal effects with the ammunition I'm using. But I'll be using, for test bed, this pistol here. It's a Kel Tec PF9. 9mm, very light, very small, subcompact or micro-compact 9mm pistol. It was made from 2006 to 2022, I believe, according to Kel Tec's website. I bought it brand new. So get the owner's manual here. It compares very favorably to the modern cohorts or copies of this produced by Glock and SIG and Ruger and Smith & Wesson. And I'll go over the comparative specs, but it's still smaller and lighter than those pistols. Like I said, I've shot this. I shoot it every year, once or twice a year, because I do carry it. It's never failed me. I never had a problem with it. Some people have mixed feelings about Kel Tec. I'm agnostic. They produce innovative products. This is a very fine little pistol, and it served me well for the last 17, 18 years. It's got this funky Vietnam style tiger stripe Duracoat finish on it, because as I carry it inside the belt, the original blue finish was starting to rust up and get crappy looking, so I Duracoated it, and it's kind of cool looking, depending on your taste. I go over the specs of the pistol. It's got a 3.1 inch barrel. The gun weighs 12.6 ounces. That's extremely light. All of its modern competition are all heavier than that. The slide is 0.88 thousandths of an inch in width, very narrow. It is 7 shots in the magazine, and one in the chamber. They'll give you 8 shots. It's a hammer fired. It's got a hammer and a internal firing pin. It has about a 6.5, 6.25 pound trigger pull. The manual says 5 pounds, but I measured it with the Lyman trigger gauge. It's 6 pounds. It's pretty smooth, no creep. Very long stroke. It's designed exactly like a revolver is. There's no reset on this trigger. On semi-automatics, after the gun cycles, when you fire it in cycles, if you're holding the trigger back, you can reset it for a shorter trigger pull and fire the gun. You cannot do that with these Kel Tecs. You got to release the trigger all the way like you would with a revolver, and then pull the trigger back. And you got to keep that in mind if you should acquire one of these. It's got fixed sights. They're kind of small. It's made out of steel frame. They say 40-41 carbon steel barrel. It's got an aluminum block inside this DuPont polymer frame, the lower. When I first bought it, Kel Tec sold a belt clip accessory that you could mount on a gun, which I did. I carry this no holster inside the belt. I do not recommend that for novices or even moderate carriers. I've been carrying firearms just about every day in my adult life, 39 years at least. Basically, you slide the gun inside your pants, and it just clips your belt. Obviously, if you're going to use something like this, you got to make sure you shield the triggers. You carefully place it inside your pants, and it's, the clip will hold it. It's kind of an old school cop carry. The old timers had clip grips attached to their 2-inch 38s, and you carried them very similar fashion. I carry this appendix carry, so I'm very careful how I put it in my pants. I don't carry this all the time. If I'm running up to the store, I live in Mayberry, a modern version of it. Low threat environment, so if I'm running up to the gas station, convenience store, whatever, and I'm wearing a pair of shorts summertime, very concealed, but it's wearing a pair of shorts, t-shirt over it. Higher threat environment, I go into a more urban or suburban area, I carry my regular Glock, everyday carry. But it's a fine little micro compact 9mm pistol. I feed it all kind of ammo. I even feed it this Tula. I have some of this Tula left over, steel case, Russian stuff, the Wolf. Never had a hiccup with it. Like I said, revolver trigger, very thin, very light. Let's see how it compares to I wrote some of the specs down from the other manufacturers, the micro compacts that are out today. The Glock 43, 3.4-inch barrel, 6 shots plus 1 in the pipe, 7-shot total. It weighs 20 ounces. This weighs 12.5. Sig 365, very popular handgun now. I've shot it. I like the 365. Nice gun. 3.1-inch barrel like this. Weighs 17.8 ounces. It does have 3 more shots available. It's 10 in the magazine plus 1. The Ruger, I forget the model. I think it's the Max. There's so many letter designations. The current micro compact they have is a 3.2-inch barrel. Weighs 18.4 ounces, and it has 10 shots plus 1 in the chamber also, 1 in the barrel. And it advertises itself as the thinnest 9mm on the market at 0.95 1/100ths of an inch. This is 0.88 1/100ths of an inch. This is even smaller or narrower. Smith & Wesson Shield 2.0, 3.1-inch barrel. It's the lightest of the bunch, but not lighter than this. It's still 4 ounces heavier. 16.13 ounces, and like the Kel Tec, 7 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. The ammo I carry in this on a daily basis is Hornady Critical Defense, 115 grain FTX projectile. It's good ammo. I've liked it in various calibers. I'm going to test that with this when we run this little Kel Tec through the tests. Like I said, I'm already doing a video on this because I'm doing an ammo test on it. And it's the only short barrel micro 9mm I have. I'm going to do the chronograph test, only 2 ammos. I'm going to use Fiocchi 115 grain full metal jacket range ammo. I'll fire a couple of shots of that. And then the Hornady Critical Defense. I even wrote PF9 in this, so I know what pistol to put it in. Run that over the chronograph. I'll do the ballistic pendulum test. I'll do an accuracy test. Comparative recoil test this against the 22 Ruger. It's basically my base recoil comparison pistol, close up on the camera. 2 shots from the 22, 2 shots from the Kel Tec. The ballistic plates, 2 shots with they're 8-inch steel plates. 2 shots with the 22, 2 shots with the 9. I'll do an accuracy test expected out of a belly gun. This is a belly gun. Contact distance to 10 yards. That's my definition. Or you can go contact distance to 7 yards max. I'll pull it out to 10. Shoot a magazine full of. Actually, I'm going to shoot the Tula to get rid of it. The steel case stuff. I'll shoot that stuff out of the at the accuracy target. I'll do the thermal effects test, where I shoot the water jugs, plywood, water jugs, on and on. Try and capture the projectile. Hopefully it punches through the water jug and through the first piece of plywood. I consider that a good effect with a handgun. Good combination of penetration and expansion. The second recoil comparison I'm going to do is between the lightest 9mm I have, which is this. It's 12.6 ounce Kel Tec, and this 37 ounce all steel CZ75, steel frame, steel slide. Very nice gun to shoot. I like shooting this gun. physics, you launch a projectile. For every action is an equal and opposite reaction. That's the recoil going into the gun. Regardless of the weight of the gun, the recoil forces entering the gun are the same, or acting on the gun. What softens the recoil is that impulse overcoming inertia. An object will stay at rest unless acted upon a force. An object will stay in motion unless acted upon some force to change its motion. Being 1/3 the weight of this, I'll fire in both close range on the camera, and regardless of what the muzzle flip looks like, I can tell you from shooting this over the years and shooting this over the years, this you can shoot hundreds of rounds of and not wear yourself out. This has a bite to it. It stings your hand. I don't want to shoot this more than 30 rounds, 30, 40 rounds tops, box ammunition tops. It's not meant to be shot a lot. It's meant to be carried a lot and shot a little. Whereas this, it's very comfortable to shoot. Grip size, nice wide grip, fits your hand. It's got a very, very narrow grip. Like I said, everything's a compromise. Everybody wants a carry gun that has the knockdown power of a 20mm cannon, weighs 2 ounces, and has no recoil. And that's just impossibility. So there's compromises. Very ultra lightweight gun, easy to carry around, but it does bite your hand a little bit. It's not painful. It's not anything anyone with a little practice can overcome. And it goes for any of the micro subcompact pistols. I don't know what they call them, micro pistols. It's but it is packing full power 9mm rounds. This firearm is rated for plus P, according to the manual. I shot plus P out of it, but they don't recommend a steady diet of it, and I don't carry. I carry standard pressure loads in this, and when I'm testing the hollow point loads for my friend, I'm going to use standard pressure loads in the Kel Tec. With that, I'll go to the shooting test now, and then in the summary, a little story concerning a historic case that actually involved the exact same firearm, a Kel Tec PF9. But go to the shooting test. When I come back for the summary, I'll cover that. Okay, back at the chronograph here. Going to do 2 shots, Fiocchi 115 grain full metal jacket range ammo, and 2 shots of the Hornady Critical Defense 115 grain standard pressure FTX projectile, and I'm going to zoom the camera on the chronograph. Those were all the Fiocchi. There's 3 shots instead of 2. And I'm going to do 2 with a critical defense. 1,079. 1,081. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to do a little, we can expect the accuracy at a little tiny micro 9mm here. I got 7 shots in the pistol. Pistol's in my belt here. I don't know if it's going to look gross on camera. The belt clip. I'm going to use this as aiming point. And trying to save the target, so I get some paper towels over the previous bullet holes. But it looks clean now. I put my ears on, and I'll zoom in on the target, and we'll take the shots. Okay. All right. And that's 7, and that's at back this off a little. It was 7. I used the 115 grain FMJ, range ammo, brown rounds. Yeah, you can cover it with my hand. That's about what you're going to expect out of a belly gun, and that's all it is. Contact distance, 10 yards is, the outer range of that. Yes, I can plink steel plates from 25 yards with this. I've done it. But that's not what it's designed for or intended for. And that's our little expected accuracy demonstration. Okay, I'm going to do comparative recoil tests. I'm going to actually do 2 of them. The first one, the Kel Tec PF9 versus the base, a Ruger Mark II 22 target pistol with 40 grain Remington Thunderbolt 22 long rifle. The Kel Tec's loaded with 115 grain full metal jacket Fiocchi range ammo, full metal jacket, 2 shots each, just comparative recoil. Then I'm going to compare the Kel Tec 2 shots, lightest 9mm I own, 12.5 ounces, or 12.6 ounces, to the heaviest 9mm I own, a CZ75 9mm pistol, all steel. It weighs 37 ounces, so 3 times the mass. So I'll display how the felt recoil looks like on the 2 pistols. First up, the 22. All right. Looks like we're in there. That's 2. Now the Kel Tec. That's 2 there. Now I'm back. Going to be 2 shots of the 115 grain FMJ Fiocchi out of the little Kel Tec PF9, and 2 shots out of the all steel CZ75, 3 times the weight, 37 ounces. All right, Kel Tec's already loaded. That's 2. Now the CZ. Let's see if she's all on the camera there. A lot more pleasant. And that's the effect of mass as far as felt recoil goes. But I'll go into that in the summary. On to the next little demo. Okay, I'm at my comparative energy test, my little ballistic pendulums here. Center plate. I'm going to shoot 2 rounds from a 22 long rifle pistol, 6-inch barreled Ruger Mark II, 40 grain Remington Thunderbolts, and 2 shots Fiocchi 115 grain full metal jacket range ammo out of the Kel Tec PF9, and just for see the energy imparted on the plates, 8-inch AR 500 plates. I'm going to zoom in on the targets and take the shots. .22. And that was the 9, little Kel Tec. Determinal effect target. I'm going to try 1 shot. Warranty, critical defense, 115 grain FTX projectile. It's a hollow point with polymer filled in the nose. I'm going to put four layers of denim in front of the first jug. I got them numbered. Jug number 1, 6 inches of water, 3/4 inch piece of ply. That's brand new. Second jug, a witness board, brand new. Third jug, A shot up 3/4 inch piece, but they're all marked, the holes. A 4th water jug, which I don't think will be necessary. So let me put my ears on, we'll take the shot. I'll zoom the camera in. All right, and we'll take the shot. Okay. Zoom this back out. Let me pause this and clean this up. Okay. First water jug. Entered. Blew it up pretty good. Number one. Hit the first piece of plywood. Did not completely go through. It looks like it's jammed somewhere in the middle there. I got to dig it out. That's the entrance. You can see lead all mashed up in there. So, to me, that's better than the 1/2 inch 38 critical defense ammo, but not by much. So, in this second separate part, I'll be trying out short barrel loads for my friend's gun. I'm going to be using the same pistol, the Kel Tec, the 3-inch barrel, and it'll just be chronograph, terminal effects. That's all it'll be the video. And but this is just for the Kel Tec and what I actually carry in it. I might change my mind as to what I do carry in it. So that'll be it for the demonstration parts. We'll go to the summary. Just because I've been shooting this Ford F350 door, I'm going to try one of the critical defense 115 grain FTX projectiles. This little Kel Tec at the door. See if we hit our bad guy behind the door. Just out of curiosity. So let me zoom in on the door and the target and take the shot. Okay, I'll be aiming around here. Back about 8-9 yards. Oh yeah, right through. All right, there's our entrance. That's to the 44 mag hole. That 44 mag made a big hole, much bigger hole. And I don't know if we can see that. I'll have to pull the target out. Yeah, clean through. Right there. So that's it for our car door test. Okay, I'm back for the summary. Little Kel Tec, like I said, never let me down. It cycles any kind of ammo I put through it without fail. I know a friend of mine had one of these and had a problem with it, but I never had a problem with mine. That's 18 years. He sent it back to the factory, and I believe they made it, they fixed whatever the problem was. They had light hits on the primer. But I've never had that problem with the gun. Even shooting that crap Russian ammo that you can't get anymore. But it was convenient when you could. Put it through the chronograph. I didn't write it on the board because there's only 2 ammos. The Fiocchi range ammo, 115 grain, full metal jacket. It averaged 1,095 feet a second, which translates to 306 foot-pounds of energy. And then the critical defense, 115 grain FTX projectile, this round here. 1,080 feet per second, 290 energy foot-pounds. I think out of on the box it says 1140, but you would expect that out of a 4.5 inch barrel, 9mm. This is only 3.1 inch is a barrel. And as an aside, 9mm case is about 3/4 of an inch in length. So with a revolver, you have whatever the barrel length is, that's the barrel length. 2 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. With a semi-automatic, the barrel, the chamber is part of the barrel. It's all one unit. So realistically, you're taking this 3.1 inch barrel and taking 3/4 of an inch off it. So basically, it's a 2.35 inch barrel that you're accelerating the 9mm at. And that's very good velocity for that very short barrel that you're trying to accelerate the projectile. Did the ballistic pendulum test with the plates, 22 9mm, just visual. You know, obviously the 9 imparts a lot more energy. I shot a car door with the FTX, just for ha-has. The window mechanism's out of the door, but it punched right through the target. That's in there. Did a recoil comparison. 22 versus the Kel Tec. You can see obviously this little gun jumps around. And then I did the Kel Tec, same ammo, range ammo. It's either Fiocchi or some of this, I keep calling it Wolf, it's Tull ammo, it's the same crap. 115 grain, full metal jacket range ammo out of this, and then out of the CZ75, which weighs 3 times the mass. Like I said in this in the introduction, you can't quantify the little bit of sting that this little narrow grip and this little light gun in 9mm. It gives you a little bit of a jolt. Like I said, nothing you can't overcome, but that's something you should be aware of if you buy an ultralight handgun. There's downsides, pluses and minuses. Everything's a compromise. Did the thermal effects test. Blew up the first water jug. Hit this piece of plywood that was behind the water jug. That's the entrance. It broke the board, but it never exited. I had to dig the projectile out of this. It almost made it through, but it did not. Projectile, nicely mushroomed, nicely expanded, peeled back. Look, you can see the little rifling marks engraved on the back of the projectile. I don't know if that shows up on the camera. I weighed it with my little RCBS digital electronic reloading scale. It retained 112.7 grains out of the original 115 grains. That's excellent. Excellent weight retention on a projectile. And Hornady makes this critical defense is very good ammo. The other ammo manufacturers make good ammo also. But 115 grain projectile, that's good weight retention. It expanded to a max of 0.515 thousandths of an inch, 51 caliber. So good expansion, good performance. I'd like to see it punch through that 3/4 inch plywood, but it's acceptable. I call it like borderline, but it's acceptable. Did the accuracy test, 10 yards. My little shot up target here with the paper towels on it, so I can save it for getting shot a few times. Just a little black dot, 10 yards, offhand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like they're all in the, they're all in the A zone except for that one. So 6 out of 7 in the A zone in the boiler works. And the Charlie just only in the chest cavity too. Like I said, this is a personal protection, close range personal protection weapon. In cop parlance, we call these belly guns. Meant to be shot at, almost contact distance. If you're in your house, there's different rules, the use of force or defending your person, you're on a lot firmer ground inside your house. Obviously, I think 27 states, or 27 kingdoms, I like to call them, you don't need a carry permit anymore. And 23 states you do. And some of the really harsh kingdoms were forced to grant people carry permits. Imagine that follow the Constitution. That said, the best gunfight to get in is the one you never ever get into, the one you avoid. This is a thinking person's game. Avoidance is best. Bullets fly both ways. You never want to get in a gunfight. You never want to put yourself in a position where you could avoid it, but a position where you have no choice but to use deadly force to save your life. Right? That means avoiding silly confrontations in the street. Say you're, lawfully carrying your firearm. You see some suspicious, shady characters down the, up the block, hanging out in the corner. Oh, I got a gun. I'll walk right through them. They bother me. I'll show them. Dumb. Stupid attitude. Avoidance. Cross the street. Turn the block. Be aware of your surroundings. Like the old Monty Python movie, Run Away. The Holy Grail. The rabbit was chasing them. They were running for their lives. Discretion's a better part of valor. If you're in a confrontation out in the street and you have to use this and take somebody's life or shoot somebody, the minute you pull the trigger, your whole life's going to change. And that's from experience, 33 years being a cop in a big urban area. All right. All the variables go out of your hand the minute you pull the trigger. If you can avoid pulling the trigger and avoid the fight, de-escalate things, escape, do that. All the variables, who are the cops showing up? Are they an old timer knows what he's doing? Is it a young kid doesn't know what he's doing? Is the crime scene mishandled? You get witnesses, are the witness statements taken correctly? 5 people watching the same thing will give you 5 different stories, and it's well documented, crime after crime after crime. Here's a cautionary note that involves this particular handgun, Kel Tec PF9. About a dozen years ago, in one of the friendlier kingdoms, Florida, friendly to gun owners or self-defense, so a guy doing block watch duty in his little gated community, I guess, saw a suspicious person walking through the community and followed him too closely, and a fight erupted. He was, I don't know what transpired, but according to the witness testimony and the evidence, the suspicious person started beating the block watch person up. He got the best of him, had him on the ground, was beating him up pretty severely. The guy's name was George Zimmerman, and the kid was a black teenager, Trayvon Mott. He was being pummeled on the ground. He was on his back. He had Kel Tec, I guess, pulled out his belt, fired one shot, contact distance, into Trayvon Martin, and the fight ended, and so did Martin's life. He passed away. The media loves creating some type of conflict story. Unarmed black teenager shot by a white guy. And I think it turned out Mr. Zimmerman was Hispanic, so it kind of twisted the narrative a little bit. Obviously, it became a circus, a giant circus nationwide. The cops responded to the scene, and apparently, from the witness statements of the evidence, it met all the criteria for self-defense, lawful self-defense. He wasn't arrested. But the media circus and political pressure went all the way up to the President of the United States, Barack Obama. So they, they're saying, right, whatever statements he made, I forget at the time, just going from memory. And so they were forced to convene a grand jury, indict George Zimmerman, and try him. Now, if you ever went through a trial, lawyers, the strain, the stress, he was acquitted from the evidence and the witness statements. Apparently, it was justified shooting, like the police found in the first place. Of course, that wasn't good for the media. They still wanted to barbecue him. I believe he got divorced as a result. Personal turmoil in his personal life. So, even though you're right, do you want to go through that? Anybody with half a brain doesn't want to go through that. use your brain and avoid putting yourself in a position where you got to shoot somebody. Plus, you don't want that on your conscience unless it's absolutely necessary. There's no other way around it, you know. With that little story there, I'm going to end this video. It was just a little short video to demonstrate the test platform I'm going to use for, you know, some of the ammo I'm going to test with the short barrel 9mm standard pressure stuff and see which one performs the best. And I might even change my carry ammo for this little gun. Maybe go to a different bullet. We'll see. But that is Old Gun Guy. If you like this, subscribe, and you know, I'll keep making them. With that, have a good evening.